Now today we are going to learn on how to join a Google meeting or a Google class using your laptop. First you need to have a click any search engine, that is Chrome, Google, Firefox or Microsoft Edge. For me I'll be using a Microsoft Edge. I click there. So you search Gmail, Gmail. When it opens, so your Gmail is open. Now you can click here, Google Apps. You search where there is Meet, you click there, it opens. It will take some few seconds to open. So if you have a code, you just enter the code there, so to join direct the meeting. But if you don't have a code and you want to create a new meeting, just create new. There's 3 ways you can create a meeting. There's you create a meeting for later, maybe in the evening, in the other day. You want to schedule a meeting in the calendar, so it will tell you a reminder for that day. You can use that Google Meet. Or for us, we want to use a start an instant meeting for the course of learning. So it takes some few seconds to open that. So there is our meeting is ready. That's a link. If you want to share to others, just copy that link. You can share using an email, or you can share using WhatsApp. So for now, I'll be sharing using my WhatsApp. That link I share. So assuming I've shared, after sharing to some people, you can wait for them to join that meeting. So they will request you to join. You as the creator, your role is to admit those new members. So you can say admit. Admit them. You can admit them one by one. If you want to restrict your class, you can admit one by one, or admit all if there is no restriction. So move fast. So yeah, the first thing up down here, you can see that this is a microphone. If you want to speak, you just turn it on. You just tap. See this, it will work. So for you to know whether it's active or not, you can see these diagonals. If there is a diagonal, a line that is cutting across the microphone, it means that it's off. So if you want to speak, you just turn it on. Same case to the camera. If there is that diagonal line, it means the camera is off. So if you want to be seen, just turn on. And then the other thing is to share the screen. If we want to do a presentation, you can just share the screen. You can share the screen. For example, let me say my presentation I want to do is to show you maybe my email. Assuming that's my presentation. I'm just trying to show you how you are going to use that email. You share after completing sharing, just say stop sharing. Yeah. Then the other thing is these emojis. You can use them as you like, but avoid them during the class as much as you can. The CC is the captions. So as you are this, if you turn it on, wakati utakuwa unaendelea kuongea ya maneno yatakuwa yanajionyesha hapo chini. Then the other thing is this hand which is raised. That is when it is used when you want to draw attention to the presenter, or you have a concern, a quiz. So just tap there, na mwenye atakuwa kwa hiyo presenter kwa anaona kama fulani ameinua mkono, so you can be given attention. The other thing is these 3 dots. So these dots is just showing how if you want to report something, the picture, the full screen. If you want the full screen, for example, if I want to view this in the full screen, I just click there. And if I want to go back to the normal, I just do that. If you want to chat, there's a section here. You click there. If maybe the lecturer is speaking and you can't hear him, just say, sorry, I can't hear you. Yeah. Another text that you can be able to share there. The other thing, I think those are some of the basic things that you need to understand. If you want to exit the meeting, just click leave the call. Just leave, as easy as that. Thank you so much for listening to me.